distance now. Let's in the meantime speak of the tragedy that has unfolded in Kerala once again in Wayanad, and this massive landslide that struck, and unfortunately the death toll has now gone up. At least 5 people who are reported dead, 5 people who are still reported to be missing or still said to be trapped under the tons of mud and debris that has triggered large-scale rescue operations, and at least 9 of them are reported to be receiving treatment at the hospitals there. But the death toll that has now climbed to 5 while the search operations continue for those who are still reported to be missing, and soon will be 24 hours. And the red alert, because the inclement weather, the relentless rain continues to lash the region. And the tragedy that has now reignited the haunting memories of the devastating 2024 Wayanad landslide, which fresh questions are being raised over whether this was a natural calamity, a disaster, or a catastrophe that has been worsened by human intervention. Now, in this breaking update, if there were warnings, because now it becomes all part of the investigation, and this is a warning, what is being said, that was given already by the district collector, raising questions over the tunnel project. And this communication, which directed the tunnel work be halted temporarily and called for the immediate removal of what it described to be unscientifically stacked or accumulated excavated soil. Now, this letter seems to have flagged a piling of the excavated soil as a potential landslide hazard, and also warned of threat to human life and property. Let's connect with Imran on this. Imran, the pictures that have been coming in, of course, we are also waiting till the time that the Chief Minister visits the site, but it is grim. First of all, tell us about the rescue operations.
As you can see, rescue operations are still underway there, and there has been still 5 more people trapped inside the debris there, for which the rescue officials are on the clock. Work has been happening. But important question, as you said, that the district collector has forewarned the private company about this thing. The letter which was mentioned.
Yes, the rescue operations, that still continues, but this seems to be, when it comes to this very dimension that is now added, especially to the questions that have been now surrounding the disaster. Imran, if you can take us through the warnings and the red flags that were already issued on part of the DC's side.
Well, the letter was written on June 20th by the district collector to the private company DBL for the clearance of the unscientifically excavated soil there at the spot there where we are in Mepadi. And despite the warnings by the district collector, no action was initiated by the DBL private company. But because of which we can see that the problem is what has happened there. That's huge. What crater like landslide happened and 3 people lost their lives. And because of which now what we see that 5 more people are still trapped under the debris, for which rescue operations are underway round the clock. Now, the district administration had written the letter, but the company is washing their hands off, saying that that rains is responsible for it, as this district received unprecedented 265 mm of rain, and that's the reason why this landslide happened. But the question begs, the important question is, the district administration written it. Why didn't the district administration follow up when there's such a precarious situation? Their lives could have been lost. The district administration saying that they wrote the letter to the company, but the company is saying that they followed all the procedures. Now, we spoke to many of the local officials there, the ministers there who have visited the spot, including the revenue minister and the district in charge minister at the spot right now, taking stock of the situation. The minister said that they will set up an inquiry committee into this particular incident, and all those responsible for it behind this will be booked under the case. Now, what actions will follow?
The threat to human life and property is something on part of the DC side that seems to have been raised before, as Imran is getting us this live update coming in from the very side where the tragedy struck yesterday. 5 people are still reported to be missing or trapped under the debris. But if there were warning signs, then why weren't they acted upon on time? And this seems to be, as far as Wayanad's recurring nightmare that we are speaking of, because the memories are still fresh of the 2024 disaster, which killed nearly 300 people. The devastating landslide. What is being reported as far as the worsted areas were Churamala and also Mundakai, that were reported, where hundreds of them were injured. We're looking at several scores of families that were untraced, and they had to be entirely rehabilitated. They were displaced, and nearly hamlets that were buried under debris. And the entire area over there where the landslide struck became unrecognizable, where roads and bridges were also washed away. And it was the Indian Army which had to spearhead the massive operations for relief and rescue, and thousands thousands of them that were moved to relief camps. And this is a memory which is still fresh in our minds. However, haunting as this might be, currently as far as the death toll in yesterday's landslide has now gone up to at least 5. Now, when we speak of the current circumstances, the spotlight seems to be also turning to the tunnel project at the site of the Sandside. Now, serious questions are being raised over whether the accumulated soil was left exposed or whether the slopes were adequately reinforced. And there are also allegations that there were warning signs that had emerged well before the collapse, but however were ignored. We just told you about the DC's warning. But the contractor in this case, DBL, the company, however, has denied any wrongdoing. And in an official statement, the company says that the project was executed in strict compliance with all engineering safety norms, environmental clearances, and also statutory regulations. Now, the DBL, meanwhile, has attributed the incident to be exceptionally heavy rainfall in Wayanad, and it said that it is also fully cooperating with the investigative agencies. So, Imran, speaking about today's development, of course, that the relief and rescue operations continue. We're also looking at the Chief Minister's upcoming visit. Imran, relief and rescue operations, 5 people still reported to be missing or trapped under the debris, and this is coming when the Chief Minister is expected to visit the site.
Well, absolutely. In fact, I'll show you that, the rescue officials are still, NDRF teams are round the clock, have been working here. In fact, this is the bridge where the tunnel project was happening. As you can see, where the very clear visuals, where the landslide happened. Now, the Chief Minister, the District in Charge Minister is here. The Revenue Minister is already here on the spot, taking a stock of the situation ahead of the Chief Minister's arrival at 1 p.m. But, the rescue efforts, NDRF teams were immediately rushed to the spot here in Party in Wayanad district, where Rahul Gandhi was earlier member of parliament. Now Priyanka Gandhi is from. In fact, he has asked Congress workers to give out all kinds of help to what needed for the people there. 3 people have died is what the officials are informing us, and the minister informed us that after this the postmortem report being done, the other formalities, the bodies will be taken to Cochin and from there flown to their respective states. Okay. 9 people are injured in the incident, and they are undergoing recovery at the WIMS hospital, and 5 more
inclement weather and continuous rain seems to be also hampering and challenging as far as the rescue operations are also concerned. It is still raining there at the site where this landslide that has been reported, where Imran has been getting us those live updates. Imran, we'll reconnect with you. Of course, we are expecting the Chief Minister's visit around 1 p.m. So we'll be standing by for the live updates. In the meantime, we head into a very short break. You're watching Times Now.